Hey guys, this is chess coach Andrew Rankin. Welcome back to UTOP Chess Institute and our 1510 games. So we're 3 games in on this account and we're already at 2100. So I think our opponents are going to give us some great games. So really looking forward to this. So we're 2112. Let's wish our opponent good luck, have fun. But this guy is 1951. But VTram 1951. He's played 692 games. E6, interesting. I guess he's offering us a chance to go into a French. So I still expect this person to give us a great game. So let's do it. Alright, if we play E4, he plays a French defense, and we go, no thanks. Your opponent does something that it's obvious they want to transpose into a position that they want to play. Why would you let them do that? Unless you had like a specific reason for that. And now we just get to play the Queen's Gambit declined exchange variation, which is basically identical to the reverse Caro-Kann. So we're basically playing the exchange Caro-Kann or the exchange Queen's Gambit declined. Knight c6 is a weird move. So I'm tempted to play bishop f4. So think of this position as a Caro-Kann defense exchange variation, because you'll notice that if we switch the colors, our pieces are going to go to the exact same squares. This knight is even going to go to e2. So that's why I need to develop this bishop, but I'm a little bit thrown by knight c6 because it's such a weird move. Like usually c5 is so important in d4, d5 openings that, I mean, still, even here, if it was knight c3 against an exchange Caro-Kann, I would still play bishop to f5. So, yeah, let's go bishop to 4, and now I'm guessing he's going to play bishop to d6, and then I think I'll just drop back. And then e3, queen here. I have to be careful of this because he has this, so I always have to play an early a3. But I'm still going to play e3. Now I can always go here if he offers to trade bishops. So now e3. If he goes here, I'm just going to play queen to c2. I'm guessing he's going to go bishop here and then knight here. That's his plan. He's got a very simple plan. Now queen c2. Queen c2. Knight here. Play a3. Castles and then queen c2. Bishop d3. I want this knight to move, so I'm really thinking about a3. Way after this, we could meet it with bishop d3. Queen c2 stops this, but not this. And if you go here, the bishop guards, so I don't even win a tempo on it. So let's go a3. He's going to play bishop to f5, but there's not a lot I can do about that. Wow, he goes a6. What a wasted move. Okay, now queen c2. Dodging this and stopping this. So now the bishop has no good squares to go to. The knight can no longer win a tempo. I'm happy. I like a6. I find that move to be absolutely horrific. And b5 now loses to knight takes b5. Pawn takes b5. Bishop here, and we have 2 attackers on the pinned piece. That knight's going down. Wow, h6. What a waste of time. Okay. I like bishop to d3. You could go here, but I'll just play knight to e2, and then I'll take, and then we get some mad pressure on the center. And then this knight even looks even more misplaced, so... And the bishop here is super helpful for us because when the knight goes to e2, we're actually planning on playing f3, e4 in the future. But first we have to castle, and then we have to play rook to d1. Very important that we always have our center nice and solid that allows us to kind of pivot off this point and push forward past it, because this will become our pawn chain base, and we'll actually attack him on the king side. It catches a lot of players off guard. Some people fold like, I don't know. I was trying to think of an adjective that describes like moldy lettuce or something, but I couldn't think of a good word to describe lettuce that makes it sound even weaker than it already is. He goes there, and that's a weird move. So now I just like knight to e2. Again, the knight can always go to f4. Now this knight's really misplaced, right? Super misplaced, because he wants to play c5, c4. But the cool thing is we always have bishop to f5. So we actually welcome this this move c4, because the bishop can go to f5, and once the center is locked, then we have the simple plan of f3, e4. But he's going to castle queenside, which looks absolutely crazy, but okay. So now I think like b4, b5. b4, castles queenside, b5, pawn takes, knight takes. Also bishop takes, pinning the knight. Looks pretty good. If he goes here, I think we still have knight takes, pawn takes, bishop takes. And how does he defend the knight again? I don't really see a way. Now that the queen's here, even if he castles and then plays b5, we still have knight takes b5. Because this, again, comes with a pin. So queen to d7, not a very good move. I don't like it. And this move, wow, he castles. Okay, now I think I'll castle. Setup just looks like it needs to be punished. So this pawn looks so weak, so maybe we play h3. And like this and this. h3 is always nice because it allows the bishop to drop back to h2, and then the knight can come to f4. It's a little bit trapped. But even if we castle knight here, then we could play h3, and if he takes, we still have a knight here. And this, we don't have to worry about sacrifices here, but maybe we'll just castle. Bring the rooks to the center, and then just go like this, and just your typical knight reroute, especially after the rook and the queen are teaming up on this weak pawn. Getting the knight out of the way is super useful. I don't think this is very useful. We can just leave it. We got pawns on dark squares, so just like in the Caro-Kann exchange variation, we want to get rid of our light square bishop. In this, we want to get rid of the dark square bishop. So I don't really care about this. It just helps us improve our pieces, put pressure on the center. I mean, we don't have this, which is always a bummer. Sometimes I like to stick my bishop out here and just have like crushing bishops. But what is Black's plan here? Like I just don't see where his play is going to come from without moving this knight. I mean, if he plays a5, we just play b5. So the rook stays here, I think, and this rook comes over to c1. Yeah, the rook stays here to guard this because the bishop puts pressure on it. Okay. So g5. Just thinking of like moves that lash out against me because I don't know what else he would do. But g5 actually kind of makes some sense. Bishop g3. I don't think g5 is very good. I bet the computer would hate it, but I feel like a 1950 player would play something like that. Especially in this position where he's probably realizing that he's just worse. Bad bishop. Oh, that's the move. I still have this, so now we go here and then here, or just a rook to c1. But after these guys trade, then I don't have to worry about that. So maybe this rook comes to c1. Or maybe we just move the knight first. And then jump in here, hitting all of these guys. After he takes, then we have two attackers on the e6 square. Yeah, let's go knight to a4. I'm guessing he plays knight to h5. I don't want to take the bishop because then he can take and then I don't get access to c5. c5 is a crucial square in the queen's gambit. If you can sink a piece into c5 and prevent him from breaking with c5, it's really hard for black to create counterplay. Question is, where do my rooks want to go? But maybe we leave them where they are. I mean, this rook definitely wants to come to d1 or c1. I don't think it's super useful on f1. But the problem with moving your rooks is that you have to consider the other rook. And if you don't know exactly what your opponent's setup is going to be, then it's kind of like, do I want to focus my rooks on the queen side? Do I want to focus my rooks in the center? So for example, this would be a queen side focus. This would be a central focus. Probably goes without saying, but nevertheless. So knight to h5 seems just like the only logical move here. I think I'll play bishop here, and after knight takes, I think I'll just play knight takes, and if he takes with the bishop, I'll just take with the pawn, and we just trade a bunch of pieces, and my position is good. These pieces are still not very great. The reason why after knight takes, I'm going to take with the knight is because I can't get to this square. Wow. That seems crazy. Now this knight is so weak. Just rook c1? Bishop takes, pawn takes, knight takes. The rook guards here, so I don't have to worry about moving the queen away from the defense of the knight. So I can move here, and then if he takes the bishop, I take, and I'm not losing this knight here. So yeah, let's go rook f to c1 so that this rook guards the knight after the bishop sacrifice, which I feel is coming. Since this opponent's like 170 points lower, I do want to put a little bit of pressure on him. And now, don't we just have bishop takes, pawn takes, knight takes? So bishop takes, queen takes, queen takes? Yeah, I think we're winning material here. If he's not careful, this is just going to lose the game quickly. So he has to take with the pawn. No, he has to take with the queen, and then I'm no longer required to defend the knight, and now I can take with the queen. So he's going to take with the pawn because he thinks that I want to take with the queen, and then he's going to win my knight. But after pawn takes, knight takes, queen takes, queen takes, queen takes. He does. I called it. I called it. Yeah, this should be pretty winning. He doesn't even have like a rook here because we would take. Actually, maybe taking here. Oh, and then rook takes queen, knight takes check, pawn takes, rook takes, and we win a whole piece. So he has to move the queen. Maybe queen here. Doesn't really help your cause because I still just take. If queen takes, rook takes, rook takes, rook c1, we double up. This is also under attack. Too bad after we take and he takes back with the rook, then he defends the a-pawn again, but that's okay. We get the 2-on-1. I'd rather have 2-on-0, obviously, but that's alright. Yeah, pawn takes was the bigger of the two blunders. I'm kind of glad I delayed developing my rooks, because now I'm like 100% positive that this rook wants to, you know, defend the pass pawns, and this rook wants to be on the open file. So I'm pretty sure my rooks are on optimal squares. I'm pretty sure I know that this knight wants to go to f4. This knight's going to trade off for a rook. These two guys are going to infiltrate. This guy might even come behind. So I don't know of a better square for this bishop. Putting pressure on the weakness as well as the king side. So I think all of our pieces are optimized, and it makes sense why we had bishop takes d6, winning at least a pawn, if not the exchange plus a pawn. The tactic, because when your pieces are on their optimal squares, basically you're not finding a tactic. Like, the tactics should be there, you just haven't found them yet. Be it a sacrifice or like overwhelming activity that, you know, you make even more improvement moves, or you send their pieces back, or you win tempos, which I would argue tempo winning moves are a type of tactic. Just to the point where, yeah, it's completely winning. I love those positions where it's like +4, or you're ahead by like 4 points, but it's even material because your pieces are so good. What's the point of that? Now we just take the rook. Now we go for a queen trade, I think. Rending the queen and the knight. Where is pieces going? That's the question. Look at this bishop. This is just a tall pawn. Sad, sad piece. Queen here. Rook here, maybe? But no, queen takes, rook takes, bishop takes, loses. Queen here. He has to take my queen. And then rook takes back, attacking the knight. The knight goes here. I think we just ignore it. Double up. Threaten to win this pawn. Queen takes. Rook takes. These guys are so weak. These pieces are like not even playing. Knight here. Just accomplishes nothing. His pieces just don't have anywhere to go. This is why you can't play knight c6. It's the Chigorin variation, but if you don't know exactly what you're doing, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Because you have to play e5. You have to break with e5 like pretty quickly. The idea with the knight on c6 is that you're playing for the e5 pawn break instead of the c5 pawn break. Well, you saw here, I basically eliminated the e5 pawn break and completely eliminated the c5 pawn break, and because black had no way to break out, he had really no counterplay. It was just a matter of time before, yeah, the c5 pawn, I could sink some pieces into it like a knight. And once the knight gets to c5, then I just control the game. So bishop takes, pawn takes. Yeah, but we have this. This is so strong. Where's this knight going? I think he's going anywhere, just covering this. So let's double up. If he pushes, I'm just going to push and make a pass pawn. So why not double up? Too bad we don't have rook c8 forcing the rooks off the board. because his bishop guards c8. I guess that's one useful job of this piece besides connecting his e pawn, or connecting the f and d pawns like an e pawn. But it's just a matter of time before we win. We also have this. The heck is that? Oh, he's gonna go here. So after this, this, I guess this, this maybe. Go here. Does he have any bishop moves? I'm gonna keep a rook on the back rank, just in cases. The bishop, the knight, do a really nice job of guarding my king, as well as key squares. So here, oh, we could just play the here first, and then here, or here. Yeah, if we can get the rooks off the board. Yeah, so this is a huge threat. So I think he has to push, exactly. Now we have this though. Rook takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, pawn takes, and then we just go, go, go. Let's push though. I mean, like, why not? And he still has to guard this and the pass pawn. We always have this kind of stuff. If he moves the rook off the A file, then we just play rook to A6 and then pick up the A5 pawn. I wish my opponents would say hello, good luck, have fun. Or at least say, like, thank you. I feel like I'm always the one saying something and no one ever responds. Yeah, VTram, if you're out there, what's your deal, man? What's your deal? A4, really? So he can play this, but who cares? Like, the bishop guards. So now we just play rook takes pawn. Rook takes knight here. Here, threatens this and this. Maybe we take him out. I do like my bishop though, it's so centrally located. An anchor. We also have this. Putting pressure on d5. Yeah, he goes there. But after here, takes, he goes here, then I can bring the rook in. And if he goes here, then we can just take it because this pawn will no longer be there. So I'm thinking knight f4 here. Oh, no, because he's on our rook. The rook. So bishop takes, pawn takes. Oh, knight moves here. It's this guy. Can move here. No, the knight guards the bishop. What if we go here? Rook takes, pawn takes. Here pushes. Can't guard the promotion, so yeah, just rook here looks really good. After this is gone, I don't know where he's going. Here is like the only square. And just like here, push, 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 push. Up the exchange plus 3 pawns. Yeah, it's really gonna start to feel bare on his side of the position. Right there. So I'm gonna go rook here, and then after knight here, does he have any threats? No, we guard that. This doesn't threaten anything. Go rook here. And then this, and then we take that, and then we take this. Just to get rid of all of his pieces. Oh, I guess after this we have to play a4 to stop him from taking the pawn. Not necessarily. We could just go here. If he takes, then no, it doesn't work. So yeah, we just play a4, e5, takes. So just a4 right now. a4. I can make this smaller, I think. You guys can see the rating of my opponent. Let me go see if I can just make it like this. Yeah, I bet you guys like that. See the actual ratings. He does go there, so now we have to play a4. He has these 2 knight jumps, 3, but they don't do anything. Can't go to b2. I don't know why I said that. Let's play a4. Now the rook is actually doing a nice job, putting pressure on c4, defending a4, defending b5. And we just prepare this. Where's he going with that? Here? Meh. Here. Here. Takes, 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 takes. Ooh, but your knight guards it. So do we take now? Pawn takes and then go knight here? But then he still has this. Oh, but we can always kick him out. What? Why did he resign? Alright. Good game, well played. Let's see if the correct move here is bishop takes or a5. Or sorry, bishop takes or knight to f5, f4. I betcha it's bishop takes, pawn takes, and then knight to f4. That way, if he ever moves the knight to b7, b6, we have a5. Yeah, that looks good. But let's see what the analysis board says here. Yeah, bishop takes c4. All right, let's go back to the beginning. We have an opportunity to play a French. Even the computer says like, nah, d4. d4 takes, knight c3. Knight c6, not a great move. I played bishop to f4. Computer doesn't love it, but that's fine. a3. Now we get our cake and we eat it too. Basically get all my pieces on the squares that I want, and he missed his opportunity for bishop to f5. He also missed this, which the computer recommended. h3. I did think about that, but oh well. b4 basically says like, castle on the queen side, I dare you. He didn't take my bluff. So we have same side castling. Bishop moves there. Knight here, nice top move. b6, yeah. Rook fc1. Computer likes rook ac1. That makes no sense. Now it goes back to rook fc1. Rook fc1 makes a lot more sense because the play is just going to happen on the queen side. And knight here is a huge blunder, plus 6.4. Bishop takes. What happens after queen takes? Then queen takes here. Yeah, I mean, his position just falls apart. If he trades queens, then his knight's under attack, the pawn's under attack, everything dies. And if he takes with the pawn, like he did, now knight to b6 is plus 8.6. Take the rook, queen comes in. Yeah, gotta be queen takes, rook takes. Knight moves. I doubled up. Computer says that's equally good. And now we went rook here, which he wanted on the last move. He does play a5, b5, a4, rook takes, knight moves there. It wants to just grab it. It's like, just take it. I didn't want to activate the bishop though, so I played rook to a6. Rook there, rook takes, knight moves back, rook to b4. Still fine. Jumps in, and now knight, bishop takes c4. This was the variation I was looking at. And then the knight comes here. And then when he goes, no, sorry, we were one move away. So here I played a4. Now after this, I wanted bishop takes, pawn takes, knight f4. And if he goes knight here, ooh, we take first. And then we play a5. Yeah. Here we just play, oh, of course we go back. Then if he goes here, we go up. Here we go up. Takes, 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 takes. How do you stop this? You can't. All right, so hopefully you guys found that useful, but yeah, basically all the way back here before he blundered, this position should still be completely winning. So, dang it. Yeah, just having the clamp on the c5 square and the c6 square super weak. So this position, yeah, it's already plus 1.5, which is really a sizable advantage for white and pretty easy to convert if you know the ideas. So hopefully you guys found that useful. I enjoyed the game, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks. Bye.